Greetings fellow guitar travellers, it's Rowan J Parker here and welcome to the penultimate episode of I Love Legato, which today features a very tricky diminished 7th arpeggio, played of course at face melting velocity. It's very cool, so before we go ahead and show it to you, I'd encourage you to have a look at my website www.rowanjparker.com. I've plugged my site to death, so I'm not going to say any more about it, just go and have a look at it, it's very cool. Let's get straight into today's lesson. Diminished 7th arpeggio, goodness, let's rock! Very dark indeed. Hope you enjoyed that piece of particular nonsense. Before we get into showing you the lick, I'd like to explain a little bit about the harmonic context. It's a B diminished 7th arpeggio, or at least it starts upon the note of B. The background against the chord is a G sharp diminished 7th chord. Without going into a huge amount of detail, basically diminished 7th arpeggios invert, so one diminished 7th arpeggio is in fact four different diminished 7th arpeggios. It could be regarded as B diminished, D diminished, F diminished or G sharp diminished. If this utterly confuses you and you're going, what? Then I suggest you check out a forthcoming Music Theory 101 lesson which is all about diminished 7th chords. It'll be following directly on from the harmonic minor lesson I'll be giving next week, so if you're wondering how on earth diminished chords work, check that theory lesson out, it should solve all those problems. Anyway, enough of the chit chat, let's get into showing the lick. Now this lick is 4 bars of semi-quavers and there's an ascending half and a descending half, so I'm just going to go ahead and play and show you the ascending half first, the first 2 bars. Let's have a listen. I'm just picking everything here just for clarity so you can hear all the notes. So I'm just going to explain to you the pattern. It's a 4-note ascending pattern which is quite common in all sorts of scales but works particularly well in this diminished 7th arpeggio. So if I give you 4 notes at a time, hopefully you'll not get too confused. Alright, so starting on low E7, it's E7, E10 and then A, 8, A11. And here's the next 4-note group. Is low E10, then A8, A11 and then going on to D9. So far we've got, and then here's the third 4-note group ascending up. It is A8, A11, D9, D12, and then here's the fourth 4-note group which is A11, D9, D12 and G10. Quite complex, I know. So let me play you the first bar, much reduced tempo. And let's begin the beginning of the second bar. So second bar begins this 4-note group, D9, 12, G, 10, 13. And then the next 4-note group beginning on D12, D12, G10, G13 and then B12. And moving on again, we've got G10, G13, B12 and high 10. And then last 4-note group is G13, B12, high 10 and high 13. Okay, so fairly convoluted, I know. Let me play you the entire first half very slowly. Alright, now if you're thinking at this point, oh, that's just far too complicated to learn, I'm going to need some sort of reference, well, I'll be providing tablature for this lick and all the other licks on the episodes of I Love Legato on my website once the last episode of this series of lessons goes live. So in a few weeks' time on my website, you'll be able to download for free all the tablature, which is another reason to subscribe to my website. So anyhow, that's the ascending half. Probably worth just looking at the digitation here. We've got 1, 4, 1, 4, and then 3, 1, 4, 2, and then 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4. Okay, so that's about as straightforward as I can make it. As I say, if you need the tab, don't forget to subscribe to the website. Well, that's the first half. Let's go ahead and start listening to and learning the second half. And here is the descending half. Again, I'll play it very slowly and I'll pick everything just so you can clearly hear every note. Here we go. Okay, so again I'm just going to break this up into 4-note fragments just for ease of digestion. So here's the first 4-note fragment. We've got high 16, 13, B, 15, G16. Next 4-note fragment is high 13, 15, I beg your pardon, high 13, B15, G16 and G13. So first 2 beats so far. Here's the next 4 notes. We've got B15, G16, G13, and then D15. And the next 4 notes, we've got G16, G13, D15, D12, and that's the first bar in the descending half. Okay, continuing on to the beginning of the next bar, we've got G13, then D15, D12, and then A14. And the next 4 notes, we've got D15, D12, A14, A11. Almost there now. Now we've got D12, A14, A11, and then low E 13. And the very last 4 notes is A14, A11, low E 13, low E 10. Very tricky, even for me. Alright, so here is the whole descending sequence played at a much reduced tempo. Thing begins again. So that is both halves. Now on the demonstration I play at 90 beats a minute. Initially I play semi-quavers, which means it's a 4-bar lick, and then I double up to demi-semi-quavers, which means it becomes a 2-bar lick. But the intention is really it's a semi-quaver lick. So let's listen to the whole thing one more time, why not? Very dark indeed. I hope you enjoyed that diminished 7th lick. Quite a complex one, I know, complicated to learn, a lot going on and quite difficult to teach as well, but we hope you got there. So join me next week for the last episode of I Love Legato, where we're going to be going into more of the nuts and bolts of how to actually produce good legato technique. So no licks next week, just the mechanics. Before I sign off, I encourage you to look at the website, of course, Inquire about Skype lessons if you're interested. Subscribe to the website, you get tons of free stuff if you do that. You can catch more of my backing tracks, which are all available for free download on SoundCloud, and that's at Rowan-Parker. And I've got a Facebook page, Rowan J Parker, which you can like if you can like. You can follow me on Twitter, though don't bother because I hate it and I never really use it. And what else? Of course, the YouTube channel with a burgeoning number of crazy guitar videos. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, and join me next week for the last episode of I Love Legato. So till then, farewell.